Okay folks, here's another beehive building project I've been working on. I know a lot of you remember the single deep horizontal hives I built a couple years ago. I've been very successful with them, and these are they're similar. The only thing different about these is they're a lot deeper. And after taking inspiration from this one group I post on, that's on Facebook, called Horizontal Hives with extra deep frames. So since I don't use the traditional kind of hive anymore, or the honey stoopers, I've ended up with a lot of these medium depth frames laying around that still got comb in them. And if I let these keep sitting around, they'll eventually get eaten up by wax moths and whatnot. So after taking inspiration of different ways to make double deeps, I've seen some members in that group take two frames like this, like for example 2 mediums or 2 deeps, and they'll and this is what they'll do with them here. I'll show you. They'll take them and zip tie them together, which I've done here. The reason why this is on here is because, I mean, I could cut that ear off, but the reason why I'm not going to do that is because I got to transport these back to the house for honey extraction. They'll slide around, or they won't sit in a box like they should, or they'll slide around. And also that helps lock it in place in the extractor when you go to spin it. So when you look in here, there is an excessive space right here, and I've had some members on bee groups kind of get worried about that, but I think it'll work. But it's better than cutting these off. I mean, hopefully they'll stay right here in the comb instead of trying to build here. I mean, they'll have plenty to work with. But I've done something different on these as well too. The box itself, I'll show you here. I've done the entrance different this time. Instead of using a hole saw to make the entrance like this did, instead I made a big old slit on the bottom. See? Instead the entrance is a big slit all the way across like this, and of course I got 2 upper holes on top for the ventilation. But there's the main entrance there. And also at the same time, built-in landing board too. So rather than just these sitting around, I'll just make extra deep frames out of them, and when spring comes, or I say when swarm season comes, put some bees in here. This is what it looks like. I mean, this is a nice looking worker comb they can use. And the only thing this comb was ever used for quite a few years for is honey extraction, but now it's going to let the bees use it instead to live in. But I've got boxes of these combs sitting around, like 4 or 5 boxes, and this one here got chewed up by a mouse, as you can see. And there's a little bit of wax moth damage, but when the bees get hold of that, you can still see the cell patterns right there. They'll just simply take new wax and build that back out and clean the wax moth stuff out of there. Once I get all these together, I'm going to divvy up the numbers, how many goes in each one. Because right over here behind this outer lid for another deep hive is another box. Right there is another box. Guess we get these frames too, but I'm just using it as a place to hold them for right now as I build these. So it's been busy. Got the boxes themselves all done. I just need to paint them though, but I don't have any white paint to paint them with because it's what I did have is no good. But this is what I used to use, and here's what I'm using now. I like these way better. No more lifting heavy boxes. It's all one single unit.